Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time we dive into a mythical world of fantasy. Screw it, we're just gonna talk about Zelda. It's the EHRPG podcast. It's Guru, it's Chewy. It's episode 34. That's what I've been told. It's all on him. Hey Chewy, how are you today?
My ass feels like grass.
Isn't that normal though?
No.
No? No? Well, we actually have a kind of surprising announcement to start this show.
Oh. ARPG is
Pokemon
potato.
Evolutions.
Oh, never mind.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say ARPG is becoming a potato.
A what?
A potato.
Okay, no, but
I thought it was a personal announcement, and I was like, okay, cool.
but no, Pokemon Evolutions, it's pretty much the best way I could describe it is probably Pokemon Generations, just again.
Again.
Because you remember Pokemon Generations, that little, like, special
Yeah.
that came out?
I remember.
What was it, 16 episodes?
It's like a mini web series, pretty much.
Yeah. Well,
it's pretty good. I like
this is Pokemon Evolutions, and it's going to be, from what I can tell, it's an 8-part web anime series, and it starts next week with an episode every 2 weeks featuring every single region in the game.
Oh.
The first episode is going to be called The Champion, and it's going to be based in the Galar region. They're going to be going to Alola next with the episode titled The Eclipse, which looks to be based on, oh god, what the hell's her name? Oh, the girl from Pokemon Sun and Moon. I want to say, the blonde.
Lily?
Lily, that's it.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, it's hard to remember. It's been so long.
I thought that was your favorite character.
It was my favorite character from Alola. Fuck off. And then they're going to go 2 weeks after that. They're going to go to Kalos with the Visionary, which is probably going to be based around Lysander. Unova is the plan. And you can see in, like, the preview image, like, they got a lot of people already in it, right? So Unova's called the plan, which is, get this. Sinnoh is the rival, which I think is going to be based on Barry. Zawish is Hoenn, and you remember that lady from the end of the Omega episode in the Gen 3 remakes?
The lady at the end of Oh, the Z lady?
Yeah, you know, it looks like she's going to be the show there.
Zenilius? Oh, God. Oh, yeah, God.
But you know who I'm talking about.
No, give me 1 second. We need to look. I'm Zen this something. This Delta episode.
Joey, literally, we, like...
Zinnia. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
That was painful.
That's...
Anyway, the Johto episode is called The Show, and 2 days before Christmas, they're going to air one final episode in Kanto called The Discovery.
The Discovery?
Yeah, and it looks like it's actually going to feature Green, the female protagonist from the manga.
Oh. Actually, her name was Blue, but yeah, it was changed to...
No, her name's Green.
Yeah, because they changed it when they went to the freaking game. Her original thing was Blue because in the Japanese version, it was red and green, not red and blue.
But we're going to be having that from September 9th to 2 days before Christmas.
Well, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. Speaking of which, though, I kind of want to do a Pokemon month for November.
November.
Since that's when
Oh,
Diamond and Pearl are coming
Diamond
out.
and Pearl are coming in, and then January's gonna be the new.
Yeah, we could do a Pokemon month for November with Pokemon themed episodes.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, I thought that was cool. I really did like Generations. I thought Generations was good, but it also left you wanting more.
Yeah.
Like,
I can direct that. Yeah.
it was 18 episodes, and not a single episode went above 6 minutes.
Yeah.
It feels like this one is, well, hopefully they do longer episodes. I think that's the only wish I want from this, because other than that, it looks awesome. They released a minute trailer before, and it has the Generations presentation, so like production IG and whatnot, and it looks gorgeous.
Honestly, I'm good with whatever, because
yeah, no, like
Generations is really fun as long as they keep on using Pokemon really differently. They're like,
yeah,
hey, we're gonna throw in a
nice...
freaking Voltorb to self-destruct and a suicide tag. I don't know.
And like it's a nice change of pace from like the anime, which, by the way, the anime itself has like changed entirely. Like I still can't believe it's not about like battling the gyms. It's just going around the regions. Like it just feels different to see like how much the Pokemon anime has grown since X and Y. Especially considering Black and White was pretty bad. Which is shocking considering like Black and White, the games were like amazing, especially considering their story. And yet that never really transferred well to the anime, apparently.
Yeah, that was very weak. Very weak in comparison.
Yeah. But I will say X and Y, the anime, improved more based on presentation than story.
Yeah.
Like, I know I've mentioned this before. You remember in old Pokemon animes when it would literally just show the guy making a move, it cut to the other Pokemon in a different screen, and then it cut to, like, them connecting, right?
Yeah.
And then X and Y is just like, yeah, we're going to actually, you know, animate it. And it turned out to be pretty good. And then, you know, Sun and Moon was okay. It was nothing spectacular. But, like, apparently, this new Pokemon, it's just the way they're taking it is pretty interesting to me.
Yeah. I just want to see more from the Pokemon Pokemon. Fuck. I don't remember what it's called now. What's the new one called?
What?
What's the new series called that they're doing? Pokemon what?
Evolutions?
Yeah. I just hope that Pokemon Evolutions shows more of what Generations was doing, like that like Woodlooker and the International Police busted into Verdian Gym just after.
I'd be shocked if it wasn't similar to Generations.
Red took down Giovanni and they were like breaking down with all the Pokemon, and I was like, dang.
Yeah, I would be absolutely shocked if Evolutions didn't have the same feeling as Generations. It literally looks like that's what they're setting up to be, and I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the big news that literally just dropped a couple hours before I woke up. Yeah, no, and other than that, we have, you know, the normal stuff. The anime industry is finding out that, hey, people don't like working in, like, unreasonable conditions. That's totally shocking. Not.
Yeah.
The Baki Hanama Netflix series is going to be getting more stuff on September 30th. Did you ever watch that? Baki Hanama?
Baki Hamana. Doesn't sound familiar. Baki Hamana.
Here you go. I'll just look at you right now.
Yeah. Oh, Baki. Oh. Oh, Baki Hanma. No, but I definitely know what you're talking about. Baki the Grappler, yeah.
Yeah, have you watched any of it?
I read a bit of it, but I have and watched a few of the scenes, but I never actually took the time to watch.
Honestly, it's hard for me to say I want to watch this show with the way the characters are designed. It's just honestly, it's just hard to look at for me.
It's weird, isn't it? It's very odd looking at times.
Like you watch the trailer and some of the characters just look fucked.
Even the kids look color. The kids look like freaking little mini adults.
I know. Just look.
I guess that's like that's also like a thing that's saying like not all babies are cute.
I know, but like it just looked. It just honestly, it's just hard to look at.
I mean, yeah.
Like you can see that feeling.
I can definitely see that feeling because it does look odd, like the art style in general, and
and then we have Tagaki, the teasing master Tagaki-san. It has not only a movie coming, but a third season is on the way.
Oh, okay.
So that's always fun. And then Chewie is of course excited for this Blue Lock anime.
Ooh.
And we're getting closer and closer to
Blue Lock.
We're getting closer and closer to the fall season.
Unlock your ego.
Like I think we should just take a quick little dive into like the fall season, just to talk about it for a bit.
Wait, are we doing the preview right now?
No, we'll just take a quick little dive, like just talk about some of the stuff. Because I mean, we got JoJo 86. Maruruku-chan, the Koyaki Senkai.
There's a lot coming out. Mishoku Tensei second season. Komi-san,
which looks good. World Trigger season 3.
Date Alive, your favorite.
Date Alive is gonna be good. A show that I am shocked that's still going is Yuki Yuna. Its third season is happening this fall.
I'm surprised Isekai Shokudo came out with the second season.
Yeah, that kind of came out of nowhere, and I'm super hyped for it. Apparently, it starts in 28 days.
You said Miracle-chan, right?
Say that again?
You said Miracle-chan, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's coming out.
And then we got JoJo Part 6.
We got that weird Platinum End one.
And then you got another couple good ones. The Takt Op Destiny, the one with Madhouse and Mappa.
Oh yeah, the music one.
The Yasahime sequel.
Saihate no Paladin. Oh, that's coming. Nice.
Like, there's a lot of interesting shows, but there's also a lot of like, wait, what the fuck is this?
Sakugan.
We're looking at World's End Harem.
Oh yeah, that's there's that isekai one where the dude and the main heroine and the main hero were what is it? They said the original hero was fat and ugly and the original heroine was a big female ape or something.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm actually excited for that one.
That was interesting, but
yeah.
Pretty.
But like, I just wanted to do a quick little idea of like what the fall's looking at. We're going to be doing the preview show within a couple weeks.
Ooh, Megaton Q Masashi. That one from Sunrise, they're doing the Kyokai Senki. That's basically a Gundam ripoff, or it is an alternate Gundam.
Yeah, that's
Gundam
the one I
thing.
mentioned. It looks interesting.
Digimon Ghost Game.
But yeah, no, there's a lot in the fall to be excited for.
Oh, Blue Period. Holy crap, I didn't think they would already start. Oh, wow. Yeah, okay, that's...
There's another Lupin.
Actually, I'm really excited for Blue Period. Holy smokes.
I'm really excited for this one that I just linked, Suki Talaki Nosferatu. But yeah, no,
wait,
I kind of just...
Suki... What?
Talakia Nosferatu.
The first one was a great... Oh, you had me excited there for a second. I thought this was a different one.
Oh. But no, I kind of just wanted to mention the fall season because, Chewy, it's September!
Yep. It's September.
Where the hell did June, July, and August go?
Disappeared within you watching Iron-Blooded Orphans?
Like, think about this. Like, the summer season, right, is almost over. We are literally a couple episodes away from summer ending. Like, that's just hard for me to believe.
It's because there wasn't good stuff that we were putting ourselves to watch and stuff and waiting to time.
I know, but like, we're looking at the summer season, right? And like, freaking, Maid Dragon, it's got a couple episodes left. Slime has a couple episodes left. Freaking Remake Our Life's almost done. My Life is a Villainess. Like, it's hard to believe that we are literally in September, and within a month, we're in the last season of the year, and, like, in October.
Yep.
Like, where did the summer go?
Summer got washed away by the weak shows of summer.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't say the show's a week. I also just think summer just kind of flew by in general.
Some of these shows are... Oh, no, wait. There's Make You Black Company I haven't watched yet. One day.
But yeah, let's talk about this week's summer. Did you watch anything?
No.
Not even Remain?
I don't think they even had a new episode up yet.
I think it did.
I didn't see it.
Well, then let me start with Remake Our Life.
I didn't even watch Slime.
Because Remake Our Life took an interesting turn that you don't normally see from these type of shows. So what happened is...
He changed the timeline?
Well, kind of. Tsurayuki, one of the four main characters, his tuition woes are, like, absolutely hell, right? So they all decided to band together and work to make a game to get his save him, allow him to keep going to school, right?
Okay.
And thanks to Kiyoya, they're able to do it. Okay. Right? But then this causes Tsurayuki to quit school.
Oh.
And now you may ask yourself, why? Why did he decide to quit school? It's because he looked at Kiyoya and what he was doing and said to himself he couldn't compete. He couldn't match Kiyoya's magnificence.
Oh.
And then Kiyoya's freaking out because he changed the timeline for a negative, and I'm sitting there just like, are you that naive? But no, the way the show tackles it is interesting, because Kiyoya was somewhat using his knowledge of the present, of his timeline, to influence the past, and in the end, it kind of bit him in the ass, right? And you don't normally see shows like that tell stories like that, do you?
No, we sometimes do.
I don't really remember. I remember Real Life mentioning it, but they never really had it happen.
They had some weird consequences.
No, they never really had this specific thing happen. Everything, Real Life was more about them growing as people, and you really rarely saw, like, the dude
I didn't mean,
influence.
like, Real Life. I meant, like, this type of,
But I don't think I've ever seen a show with this type of story have something this dramatic where his actions bit him in the ass in a way that he changed the future of a single person.
I see.
Because he freaks out that he pretty much, in his idea, ruins Tsurayuki's future, right? Because apparently he figures out that Tsurayuki goes on to be like a world-renowned artist, like world-renowned novelist, right? And he freaks out about it. And then he gets transported 10 years into the future where he's married to Aki and has a kid.
Where Tsurayuki's married to Aki?
No, the main character.
Oh, okay.
And here's where I think this show is trying a bit too hard. Because I know where this goes. He's going to try to go back to his original timeline. Because apparently he gets upset that Aki had to quit being an artist because she married him. And I'm sitting there just like, I know where this is going and I don't like it. Because the show has two options. It either completely ends on a disappointment with him returning to his original timeline and it's just like a complete waste of time. Or, and this is how I think the show's going to go.
Jesus.
I think he's going to return to his original timeline or the 10 years ago one, whatever it is, and Aki's still going to love him. Because I think he's thinking, oh, I ruined her dream as an artist, right? But she was already in love with him, right? You think she gives a shit about being an artist? Right?
Right.
Like, she chose to do it because she wanted to be with him. You think being an artist matters in the end? And I get this feeling when he returns to the previous timeline, he's going to realize that Aki still loves him, and he's going to realize that, hey, why should I be upset that she's choosing to do something she wants?
Yeah.
Because I think that's the major difference between Aki's situation and Tsurayuki's situation. Tsurayuki was defeated mentally. Tsurayuki had, like, his life dream taken away from him because he did not believe he could compete with Keita.
Okay.
Aki, on the other hand, she's living her life. She's married to the person she loves. She's still a great artist. Oh, who gives a shit if she isn't in books, right? So, like, you see my point there? This is less about Aki giving up something. It's more that she got something more important.
All right.
Like, you can see my thought process there?
Yeah.
Which is why I really hope they go that way and not try to be this pretentious bullshit of, oh, you shouldn't change time.
Change. Shouldn't change.
But it was a nice twist, and I generally did like it. I just hope they conclude it the right way and not the let's make a point for the sake of making a point bullshit.
Okay. All right. Well, okay.
Yeah. And I guess I could talk about Slime.
Slime.
It's so good. It's so good.
When you become a
slime. The last three episodes have been nothing but fights, and it's amazing.
Fight.
Like, I saw somebody saying, "Oh, well, where's Rimuru? We don't give a shit about this stuff." And I wanted to fucking hit him.
Oh, you can if you want to.
Well, like, I think it's safe to say one of the best things about Slime is how it makes all the characters valuable.
Okay, yeah.
Like, all the characters have their own strengths, have their own weaknesses, but, like, they're not just hopeless sacks without Rimuru. Like we see in the 2 episodes before this one, how, like, Rimuru's army literally defeats Clayman single-handedly, right? Without Rimuru being there.
Yeah.
So, like, Benimaru, the Beastakers, the Goblin, the idiot Goblin, what's his name?
Gobta?
Yeah. And, the Orc, like, they're all shown to be capable fighters. Unlike so many other shows that just completely don't do that when they have an overpowered character in it, right?
Yeah.
And then this week we see that, oh, Shuna is disgustingly powerful.
She thick.
Like, she just wiped out a whole entire army with just the flick of her wrist.
She thick.
But of
She's so
course, the
thick.
best part of this week's episode was the ending where they finally got to the War Peace event. And Rimuru is probably going to kill Clayman in the most satisfying way possible.
Yes.
That little picture, that little frame at the end with Rimuru, with the energy writhing around him as he wants to pretty much rip Clayman's eyes out and watch him die. Like, I'll get you the frame right here. It's like one of the best frames of the entire series.
Let's see.
Oh,
here.
it's going to be so good to watch next week.
I'm going to do it in my card.
Like, look at this shit. Like, this is the Rimuru we expect, right?
Execute. Execute Order 66.
Execute Order 66. And Peach Boy Riverside continues to be a clusterfuck.
R.I.P. Is
Yeah,
it time to put it down? Do I take out the shotgun now?
I mean, I'm going to click on the newest episode this week and hope we're at this similar timeline. Okay, we are. Thank God.
Oh, it's too late. I'm putting it down.
I'm just going to say it again. I think this show would be an underrated sleeper if the timeline was actually, you know, not shit.
Oh.
What else? Higurashi continues to be one of the best shows of the year.
It's getting crazier and crazier.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so last week I mentioned how Satoko lost the battle against her other self. Well, her other self then just decided to go fucking insane this episode.
Oh, no.
And what I like is these previous episodes have been kind of seeing what happened in the first season of Go, but at a different viewpoint.
Okay.
And we see how Satoko has been pretty much single-handedly, like, ruining the whole town.
Okay.
And, yeah, she's a total psychopath.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I'll just give you an idea of what she did this arc. She infected the cop to the point where the cop goes insane, kills Mion and Shion, and then brutally beats to death Rika. He then took advantage of her uncle, who was trying to redeem himself, executing him point blank, and then bashing his skull in. She then gets Keita to come to the house, bashes his skull in to make it look like him and her uncle killed each other.
Oh.
And then she lies to the cops and then executes the cop in front of Reina. While killing Rika, while making sure she's dead, then killing herself. And I'm sitting there, I'm just like I mentioned before, I think this arc, Rika, like Satoko, sealed her fate.
Okay.
Because remember, Satoko's whole goal is to get Rika to not leave the town, right? That's her whole goal. And this arc ends, like, just before Oishi starts killing everyone. Rika's just like, this is a perfect world. We've finally broken the curse. And then Oishi kills her.
Yeah.
And, like, that's just saying, oh, hey, Satoko, you fucked up. Right?
Because she's crying.
Well, no, think about it. Like, seriously, think about it. Her whole goal is to get Rika to stay. And Rika's saying this is a perfect world. I think Satoko overplays her hand this arc, and that's what's going to cause her downfall next arc. Because wouldn't Rika stay if she's thinking it's a perfect world?
Yeah, logically, I suppose.
Logically is that. And now that Rika doesn't think it's a perfect world, it's going to lead to her confrontation with Satoko. And I just honestly can't wait for Satoko to get her just deserved. Like, I don't see this show ending any other way without Rika or one of the gods killing Satoko.
All right, yeah.
And I'm gonna love every single fucking moment of it.
Yeah.
Right? Now, since I'm talking about stuff, Chewy, what would you rather me talk about next? Revengers or Academia?
Let's go Academia.
Okay. Well, My Hero Academia is speeding to its finale, right? It's got a couple episodes left. Yep. And while I thought the first episode of the villain arc, the Meta Liberation War arc, wasn't great, I thought the second episode was actually pretty damn good. And the second episode starts the battle between the League of Villains and the Meta Liberation Army. And it's pretty much like 6 versus 100, right? And we get to see a little bit of why the Meta Liberation Army is what they is. And it's pretty much just the normal shit we see, right?
Yeah, I think I read the part of the manga.
But the show's main focus is on Toga.
Oh.
And what I like about it is it really shows the flaws of society.
Oh, okay.
So Toga, so it focuses on Toga, but this can really apply to every single one of the League of Villains. So Toga, throughout her whole battle with Curious, is being berated by her because Curious wants to turn her into a martyr, pretty much, right?
Okay, yeah.
You know what martyr means, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so she wants to turn her into a martyr, and she's berating her with every question and trying to figure out, what makes her tick, why are you like this? What caused this, right?
Okay.
And what I love is Toga, during the battle, mentions how she wants a normal life, right?
Okay. Yeah.
But she wants her normal life. And I think the show does a good job at showing that Toga is only evil because of the world around her.
Huh.
The world around her viewed her quirk as disgusting, as not good, right?
I see. It's the one where she takes the blood and she can...
Yeah, where whatever blood she drinks, she can turn into the person. And now it's evolved to the point where she's starting to be able to use their quirks.
Oh.
But no, so, they viewed her quirk as, this is not a good quirk. This is evil, right? What kind of normal person would have a quirk like that?
Right.
So that, of course, ostracized her and doesn't allow her to just have a normal life. And then you got Curious coming in and wanting her to be a martyr, wanting her to paint her as a sympathetic person, when again, she just doesn't want that. She just wants a normal life where she can kind of I won't say do what she wants, but where she's just allowed to live. But she never was allowed that from the start. And you can make the case with every single one of the League of Villains. Their quirks did not allow them to have a normal life.
Okay, yeah.
Which also makes, the mind control person, Shizuo, from the hero class, right?
Yeah.
It makes his story even better because he should be a villain with that quirk.
Yeah, but they're learning, right? They're
and yet the world is learning, and he is battling to show that quirks don't make you into what you are. And it's very interesting to see how My Hero just kind of tells that story with Toga.
Right. Because
Toga, by all intents and purposes, probably would have had a pretty nice life if she wasn't completely ostracized, completely just made fun of. If she was treated as a normal human being, it's very likely she would not have been part of the League of Villains.
Right, yeah. Totally.
So yeah, that's probably the best part of the episode. Also, Shigarami is getting more powerful to the point where he can touch a person and disintegrate anyone near him. And yeah, it's getting fun. I honestly really like this episode.
All right.
Now
we get to talk about. Oh, we're not going to talk about Revengers.
I said before we get to Zelda, let's talk about Revengers.
Oh.
I still don't like this arc.
The arc's kind of comparison to the others, but yeah.
Like, the previous arc was good. It was nice. I thought it was kind of stupid how he didn't even try to find Kazaki. But, like, this arc's story is just awful. It makes no sense for Kazutoro to want to kill Mikey.
I want to kill Mikey.
Like, am I just missing something?
I just want to kill Mikey.
No, I'm asking a question. Am I just missing something?
Kazutoro?
Yeah, like from what I know, Kazutoro and Baji, you know, they're the reason Mikey's brother's dead, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, Kazutoro snaps to the point where he wants to kill Mikey because...
Kazutoro, you said?
Yeah, you know, the freaking blonde-haired, black-haired dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Like, I'm seriously asking, am I missing something?
Let's see.
Because it generally makes no sense as to why Kazutoro's just like, oh, I killed Mikey's brother. It's all his fault. I must kill Mikey. Like, am I just generally oblivious? Like, I'd accept if I'm oblivious, but, like, I'm generally trying to figure out why Kazutoro would be like this. Is he just insane? Anything?
Apparently it's due to shock of guilt. But that's an interesting choice. Maybe
that feels really far-fetched for him to go, we're best friends forever, Mikey. Let's get him a birthday present by stealing this bike. Oh my god, I killed his brother. I have to kill Mikey.
Yeah, I don't know. This is interesting. But then again, we've never experienced killing somebody, right? That's pretty extreme.
I know,
we never
feels...
experienced taking a life, and it's the life of somebody who's like incredibly close to you.
But it feels like such a stretch, if you know what I mean.
I guess, yeah.
And to go the excuse of like we don't know the experience is just ridiculous. It feels like such a stretch for him to go, I am Mikey's brother.
Well, it's not only just because we don't know what it feels like, but it's the fact that it's killing somebody. You're literally killing somebody,
when
Marcel.
You have Baji
You're taking a life.
On the other side. But here's the thing. We have Baji's reaction right there. He's completely heartbroken. He's stressed. He realizes what he's done wrong. Kazutoro, on the other hand, is like, I must kill Mikey now. I must complete the set.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, maybe got triggered weird. I don't know.
Like, I swear to God, if the show goes Kazaki put him up to it, I'm gonna throw a mouse through my window.
No, I don't think that's it. I think he literally is...
just went insane.
Yeah, pretty much. Or just, I guess, snapped.
Like, really, what it makes me think is Kazutoro wanted to kill Mikey from the very beginning. Because him going, oh my god, I killed his brother, what am I going to do? To, oh my god, I killed his brother, might as well kill Mikey now since it's his fault. Like, that's just, if he just snapped, then that's just lazy writing.
Maybe.
But anyway, I really do not like this arc, and it's kind of sad that we're going to end on this arc since there's only a couple episodes left. I am generally wanting more from this series, though, I will say. Like, Tokyo Revengers, in, like, a whole thing, is pretty darn good.
Hmm.
And it was definitely worth it.
Yeah, it is.
Alright, shall we move on to the fun part of this episode?
Sure.
Alrighty, ladies.
No, Revengers gets better.
Say it again.
Revengers does get better, for sure.
Oh,
and it's already really good at the beginning, but it'll sign.
I agree. I've read a decent amount of it.
I'm ready.
Alrighty, though. It is time to talk about Zelda. We're going to be ranking all, like, the Zelda games from, like, the DS games, 3DS games, Wii games, Wii U. There was no Wii U Zelda. Actually, there was. The Switch. We're just ranking them all. Now, there are some games we haven't played, so we will give our bare bones opinion that you should ignore on, but a lot of these games we have played. So shall we just start from the bottom and go the way up?
So, you mean bottom being the oldest?
Yeah, let's just go from oldest to newest.
Okay, in the main series, let's go from main series first here. Did you want to do spin-offs as well at the same time, or do you want to do that separately?
Let's just rank them all, since all the Zelda games are pretty much tied to a timeline.
It's gonna be hard for me to jump back and forth, but okay, I will.
Well, no, let's just start from 1986.
Let's just
Legend of Zelda.
Let's just go from main series.
Well,
let's see here. This is the one that was completely 2D, right?
What was the first one?
No, sorry, not 2D. The one that's like
over the top.
Over the top.
Yeah, Zelda had the over the top style till pretty much there
was one
Ocarina of Time.
Was this the one where you went into towns and it was like a platformer all of a sudden?
No. Adventure of Link, Zelda 2, was the side-scroller.
Okay, so this one's the one that's completely over the top.
This is the original Zelda, the one that started it all.
Over the top. And this... Wow. This is back on the...
NES. This is like NES. 1986. Oh.
And the Famicom or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Wow, that is such an old system.
I know, it's old.
Oh.
And like, I never really played this game. I got in at A Link to the Past.
I don't remember if I played this one, honestly.
But I feel like you have to respect, kind of like the original Mario, what the original Zelda did.
I mean, yeah.
So I feel like we have to at least put it at a C. Because, like, now it's clear. It's outdated as shit. There's a lot of stuff in this game that just does not work now. The fact that you kind of need a map to know where you're going.
Yeah, the whole going into the next room type of thing is like a whole screen shift over.
Yeah, like, there's a lot that we would not see in modern games.
It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
But, like, we also have to respect what this game did, because what this game did is release the groundwork for not only Zelda itself, but the hundreds and thousands of other games.
Yeah. I mean, it introduced all the, it
introduced,
basics
like,
type of thing of Zelda that you expect, like the maze-like runes in the temples and stuff in dungeons, and there's like secret passages, having to destroy the monster so you can hit certain switches to get past rooms, getting certain items like the boomerang and the magical recorder and things like that.
Yeah, like there's a lot of stuff that we see in Zelda 1 that we've seen in Zelda since.
Get all the MacGuffins so you can get the main MacGuffin type of thing.
So, like, while it is 100% understandable that, like, Zelda 1 is not a good game now, kind of like Pokemon was, you have to respect it. So I feel like it needs to go at, like, a C area.
What is this design of the Famicom though? I really
like. What do you like? You think you agree to that?
A C? Sure.
Yeah.
This is a weird. It's a weird.
Like I
system,
don't think
though.
it's good enough at all to be anywhere near a B or an A.
Nope. All right, so we're moving on to the Zelda 2: The Link. This is the one where it's.
This is the one where it has the over-the-top overworld, but it's a side-scroller. And honestly, I hate this game.
This got weird. I think I remember the reference. There was a reference to this one from Community, I'm pretty sure, with the video game one. Or was it? I'm not entirely sure.
But no, I genuinely despise this game.
Wasn't this also the one where if you talk to a certain lady, she would take you into your home and then heal you?
Yeah, it had a lot of weird things like that.
And I'm like, wait, what?
What I don't like, everybody could say, oh, the side scrolling, boo, it's not what Zelda is anymore. I just don't like any of the design choices. Like, it's unforgivingly difficult.
A proximity continue system based on lives. An experience. There's an experience point system here?
Yeah, you had to be a certain level.
Oh my goodness, magic.
Like, there was an experience point, magic points, and honestly, it just, I don't think it's designed well as a game alone, let alone a Zelda game.
They had more interaction with NPCs. Hey, okay, well, you know.
That's fine, but it does nothing.
A strategic combat system. Experience levels, goodness.
Yeah, and I just think it's unforgivingly hard for no reason.
Link gains experience points to upgrade his attack, magic, and life by defeating enemies. He can raise each of these attributes to maximum 8 levels or using a life level to increase the damage. This is weird.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't think there's gonna be a Zelda game worse than Adventure of Link.
Wow. 6 years after the events of Legend of Zelda, this now 16-year-old Link notices a strange mark on the back of his left hand. What? What is this story, though?
I believe this was one of the last Zeldas on one of the timelines.
Zelda, not for the first game. What? Okay, the maiden is Zelda, not the Zelda from the first game.
I know. Zelda timelines are weird, but I'd really put Zelda 2 as like, I don't want to say F, but it has to be worse than Zelda 1, so it's a D.
The prince's wizard friend? Princess Zelda's brother? What?
Alright, let's go to A Link to the Past now.
Wow, we never... Do we ever see Zelda's brother again? Jeez.
You gotta remember, this is like a late timeline game, so no.
I know, but that's... Wow.
Well, let's go to A Link to the Past.
Link to the Past. Isn't this the one where they incorporated looking for heart containers then?
Yeah, but this is also the Dark World one.
Oh.
And I'm gonna be honest, this game is what made me a gamer.
Oh.
I remember seeing my dad play this game all the time. And I have beat this game a gajillion times. It is so fun. It is so well made. It takes everything that Zelda 1 did and just makes them better.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the dungeons, better. The overworld, better. Here's a big thing. You don't have to have a map. You're literally told where to go to. Yep. The inclusion of the Dark World is a cool and unique mechanic. The way it's used to get around dungeons, it's nice. The
polishing of the... Huh?
I love the music. That boss theme is simple, right? So, like, I'll pull it up. Zelda, A Link to the Past, boss theme, right? That boss theme is literally just like 3 chords. I'll send you it right here, right?
I can't play it.
But like you can check it out later, right?
Sure. Wow, you had to use a rupee to fire an arrow in the older ones. But now they're all separate items.
Again?
Okay, so they added new elements and innovations. For it seems like where arrows are now separate items and bombs are in the original, instead of using a rupee to fire an arrow.
That's funny, but no, like this.
Really?
What I'm going back to the boss theme, is the boss theme is literally just dan 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 dan. It's literally just that, right?
Mm.
It is one of the best boss themes in the entire series. I absolutely get a giant smile on my face every time this theme is played, because it's just, I don't know why. It is incredibly simple compared to like every other boss theme in Legend of Zelda. But just the tone it uses. Like you'll see, because this boss theme comes back in A Link Between Worlds. Like, I just love it. I love the dungeons. I think every single dungeon in the game is good to great.
Yeah,
the bosses are fun and unique in their own right.
Did a hex grid so you can move left, right, up and down, diagonal.
I also think that the overworld itself is probably one of the best Zeldas we'll ever see.
This is the one where they do the looking for heart containers instead of doing experience points, thankfully.
Yeah, and the finding the heart containers is fun. I will say again, the bosses are some of the coolest in Zelda.
The location by using magic mirror, dark world and light world. Yeah, that's that one.
I think the most interesting part, I think this is the first introduction of Mogrum, the worm.
Oh.
Is it more the worm? The you know, the worm that bounces you.
The what? Bounces
you? The worm
you?
that bounces you if you walk into it.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Right? Like that one is just, it's just hilarious. I love it.
They polished it really, really well. Yeah.
I know, it's insane how good Zelda became.
And how much of a jump was that? Let's see.
Yeah, like A Link to the Past is just an absolute massive leap.
It was 4 years. Oh. Yeah, okay.
And we ain't even talking about like the story's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
The whole Link trying to save a destructed Hyrule from Ganon, who's trying to get through the Sacred Realm back to the realm, the Light World. And how he uses Agahim, the avatar of Ganon, to do it.
Zelda, the Descendant of Seven Sages, held.
Yeah, and it starts the whole Seven Sages nonsense. But I think the one thing I like is that even though A Link to the Past is simple, right? There's no denying it.
Sahasraya.
It's still probably one of the best Zelda games out there right now. Though, because of a certain game coming up, I don't know if this game is worth playing anymore.
Oh.
But I'm going to give it an A.
Oh, yeah. That's an A.
Yeah. And let's move to Lynx Awakening.
Huh.
This was an interesting one, since this was the first Lynx game without, like, the focus being around Zelda.
Yeah, this was for the Game Boy. Yeah. And then they did a remake for this for the Switch.
Yeah, and we'll acknowledge the remake as well.
Oh, okay.
Since they're essentially the same games.
This is interesting. I don't know.
I've never known how to feel about Link's Awakening.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Like, it's different, and it's interesting. Like, the gameplay's fun. I will agree. The gameplay, you'll rarely ever hear me say a gameplay in a Zelda game is bad. But I just look at it and I say to myself, I don't think there's, like, anything here that pulls me in.
Okay.
Like, you may say, oh, there's no Ganon, there's no that, right? But, like, to me, Ganon and Zelda are one of the main things that pull me into a Zelda series, to a Zelda game.
Right.
So this whole Koholint Island, him trying to get around, the truth being that, like, they're all asleep and it's a dream.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, I never got into this. And
very...
I don't know if that's a me thing or not, if you know what I mean.
I get it, yeah. Okay. It's different. It's very different.
Like, I mean, we see, the one thing that always threw me off is, like, they used because it's the dream to have, like, cameos. Like, there's Yoshi, there's Kirby, there's the Chain Chomp, there's the Goombas, and it's just like, I don't know, it just feels off.
Some weird stuff. Apparently you can... What? What is this?
What?
The DX version also allows players to take photos after the player visits a camera shop. Its owner will appear in certain locations throughout the game. A total of 12 photos can be taken, which may be viewed at the shop or printed with the Game Boy printer accessory.
Yeah, I remember that. I watched that in Chugga Conroy's live stream of it.
What the heck? Game Boy print? Wow. The hell?
Yeah, no, it just... I never got into it, and it just felt, honestly, incredibly off.
Wow, this game has the one where you can steal items from game shops, and then you can change in player's character's name to Thief for the rest of the game, and causes the shopkeeper to knock out the character upon re-entry of the shop.
Like, do you feel like it was just Zelda? It was just Nintendo trying something weird?
No. I think it's just literally Nintendo being Nintendo, always trying something different. Or thinking of doing something different.
What do you think is a fair rating for it?
I want to say C+.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Because I don't think it's the same level as the original Legend of Zelda, because it's not that old. And even though it is still a Game Boy game.
Let's tackle a big one. One of the most important games in, like, the history of video games.
Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time on the N64 in 1998.
It's hard to understate how important Ocarina of Time and Super Mario 64 were to the gaming industry.
Oh, yeah.
Like, these were some of the first fully 3D games that actually worked well.
Using polygons.
And I think it's safe to say that this is also really when the Zelda series took off.
Yeah, because it's freaking huge, mate. And then you don't have to wait for, like, go, like, a little bit of a tiny bit to the left to just move into the next screen. It's just a big old area first, and then you go into a city, it then changes. You go into dungeon, it changes then at that point.
The dungeons were better. Like, everything just felt epic.
It had the first free roaming capability, basically, in a sense.
Yeah. Plus the enemies were more varied.
Mm-hmm.
I think the characters were great.
Well, I think the enemies were more varied because of the fact that now it was all 3D.
Yeah, and the characters were great. I especially enjoy characters like Soraya, Princess Ruto. And, like, this is a game that established a lot of the stuff we'd seen Zelda lore for a long time. But I can't give it an S. It's an A.
You can't give it an S.
It's an A. I think Zelda Ocarina of Time is one of the best Zelda games ever made. Deservedly so.
Yeah.
I love what it did for gameplay. I love what it did for the lore, because the ability to have Zelda split into 3 timelines kind of allows Zelda to do more with its games than other series would, right?
Yeah.
We see that later in the 3DS games that we'll mention.
The time traveling capabilities are cool. Yeah, the whole you could be younger person and then older version and see the difference in time and what it did to all the areas that you were in before. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah,
and the Ocarina.
The Ocarina brought that back into the focus. I really liked the bosses for the most part. I think there were a couple duds. The Water Temple boss kind of sucks. Like, it was just like an amoeba. So yeah, the Water Temple boss kind of sucks.
I like the I mean, they added a few more gadgets because of the whole 3D thing, and then
the hook shot felt even more epic.
Yeah.
And
Epona.
I think we also have to acknowledge Ganon.
Ganon?
Like, the Ganon boss fight. Not Ganondorf. Ganon.
Ganon.
The Beast Ganon.
Beast Ganon. Ah, yeah. That one. Yeah.
Like, that was the first real appearance of it.
Only adult Link can use the Fairy Bow. Oh, yeah, and the fact that they had... Because they could only do different things with young Link and adult Link. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, especially in the 8th temple where that was used.
Right.
But yeah, no, I think Ocarina of Time deserves to be held up as, like, one of the best games ever. But, like, there's a couple Zelda games I hold higher than it.
Okay.
Let's talk about a Zelda game that
this one actually incorporated side quests, actually.
There were a small amount.
Yeah, but, like, you didn't actually have to get a horse.
But let's talk about the game that actually made a living on its side quests.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna say it. I think Majora's Mask is the most overrated Zelda game. I know, it's kind of counterculture. But I have never enjoyed playing this game.
No, this is weird. Oh, there we go. Alright, yeah, alright.
And I think Breath of the Wild really showed what a different Zelda game should be.
Okay.
This was just... Oh, how am I put it? I hated how it had no real focus. Like, yes, the moon is coming to destroy the world, but because of the rewind time and whatnot, you're never really in danger. I don't like how... It never I'm not saying it has to hold your hand, but it never really felt like I needed to do anything.
Oh.
Like, you guys say, well, isn't that the same thing with Breath of the Wild? No, Breath of the Wild doesn't have you need to do anything, but it makes you want to do stuff.
I just sit in the corner and just wait for rain.
For me, I never wanted to do much in Majora's Mask.
You didn't feel like collecting the masks or anything, and you just felt like, it's time to just go and fight the... Yeah.
Not really. I mean, I collect stuff when I do. I do side quests when I want, right? But, like, you know me when I play games. I'm a side quest whore. I like to get every side quest done. In Borderlands 2, always got every side quest done. GTA, always got every quest done. Except for, like, the collectible ones. Fuck those. Those are draconian. But in Majora's Mask, I never really got that feeling.
Okay.
And, like, the gameplay is Zelda style, so it's nothing bad. But, like, it's just... I don't know. It's kind of like Awakening. I never felt a connection to this game.
Stringent.
Like, you must have played it a bit, right?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah, I did not play Majora's Mask.
But yeah, because of that,
okay with that.
I think I'm gonna have to give it a B-.
It literally looks like a Ocarina of Time. Just.
Well, I mean, it uses Ocarina of Time's graphics, but like, it's nothing like Ocarina of Time in terms of gameplay and whatnot.
No, yeah, it's just it's like a repaint of, and a little bit of a sad job, basically. I don't know.
Yeah, in a sense. But like, it's completely different from Ocarina of Time. It's just it never really clicked with me, if you know what I mean.
Okay, yeah. I can't really say anything because I haven't played anything, so. But yeah, okay, all right. Not enough, Math. Not enough.
All right, the Oracle games. Fuck them. They're not worth it.
Are you talking about the Oracle Seasons one?
Oracle Seasons, Oracle Ages. It's pretty much just a Link's Awakening style game that makes me want to blow my fucking brains out.
I think I remember playing this one, actually. Wasn't that bad. We'll give it a C.
Yeah, let's move on from that.
Link to the Past
Four
of
Swords,
Swords?
I did play a bit. I liked the creativeness of it. And we see a lot of the Four Swords creativeness come into Minish Cap. But I also don't think it's that worth it.
C+?
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally
Like,
just Link to the Past with just multiplayer.
It's really just a multiplayer fun game. You play with your friends. You can play on your own. It's pretty fun on its own, too.
Because it's just literally Link to the Past.
Pretty much. Up next on the list is one of the big ones. Wind Waker.
Wind Waker.
Remember when this was first announced and everybody hated it?
Yeah, because of the whole kind of art
the
setting.
Visuals.
And, yeah.
And now, since that's gone on, Wind Waker has become one of the best rated Zeldas of all time.
Just shows that you shouldn't, fucking...
And
try for the get-go.
I'm going to agree with it. I think Wind Waker is a top 3 Zelda.
It is very good.
I'm going to say Wind Waker is S.
Wow. I mean, I could see why. It's just, it's...
Like, even the overworld being bare nothing is still fun to explore because you never know what you would find.
Yeah.
Like, the random island over here, the random island over there. Everything is just interesting and cool. I love the quirky nature to it. It makes me smile. I enjoy the characters. I like how they use Zelda. I love Ganondorf in this because he feels like a justified villain. And the gameplay's bonkers fun. Like, it really feels like they understood what to do with the art style. Also, expressive Link. He is so expressive.
So expressive. Despite not really talking, but, he's still very expressive. But
no, I think this is one of the top 3 Zeldas of all time.
I like this whole concept, it's the I mean, that's the thing with Nintendo is that they try to get something different and use it as the whatever main niche point. You could see it in a lot of their games, especially like Mario and Zelda and sometimes Pokemon. But yeah, I really like this one. The fact that it's now in like a water type of environment, mostly water type of environment.
A flooded Hyrule.
A bunch of
where
archipelagos.
Everybody now has to deal with it.
Yeah, a bunch of different islands and archipelagos and stuff like that, and you got to use the boat to get around, and it's such a cool, interesting aspect. And there's they add on to it some more. Didn't they do like fishing and stuff like that or whatever? Or not
I don't
fishing.
think it was fishing.
What is Really? They didn't. It was like there was bait of some kind, wasn't there?
It's been a little while since I played it.
They used bait for something. I remember that there was fishing in N64. That was That was pretty fun. The Ocarina of Time. The mini games in Ocarina of Time was fun.
I mean,
but the Wind Waker
one was
really good
but other
too.
than that, no.
Really? Okay. Well, I mean, there's still a lot of other stuff to do.
And like the only problem I have with Wind Waker is the whole finding the 8 pieces of the Triforce.
Yeah.
Without a guide, that is the most agonizing shit I've ever seen. And apparently it was revamped in the Wind Waker HD collection.
Oh.
Yeah.
For the Wii U. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, next game. That is Minish Cap.
Minish Cap. Wow, this is a main game. Okay.
I didn't play this.
Wait, you just skipped Four Swords Adventure for GameCube.
It's pretty much the same thing as Four Swords. It is literally the exact same thing.
Is it really? Wow.
I think the only difference is I think the villain in that is Vati? Yeah, it is Vati.
Shadow Link.
No, the villain is Vati.
Oh.
Yeah, but like it's like nothing. If you played Four Swords, you played Four Swords Adventures.
Oh, that's sad.
But we got the Minish Cap here, and this was the first handheld game for Zelda in like God knows how long.
Wait, you didn't play Minish Cap?
I really didn't know.
Oh my god.
No.
Wow, okay, so... Okay, alright. This was actually really fun.
Yeah, no,
I really like this one, actually.
And I've seen the bosses of it outside of, you know, the great giant choo-choo.
This is incredible, honestly. This was a really... I thought this was a really nice GBA variation of the Zelda series.
Yeah, and the idea of... The idea of using the Four Swords, like this is a prequel to Four Swords, and the whole backstory around Vati and whatnot, it's cool. I liked the idea of like making him small and whatnot.
Yeah, and then the Picori, the whole Minish people.
Like you saw a lot of creativity in this that would go on to other 3DS games that we'll get to.
Oh, it's so interesting. It's so cool. The fact that like you can turn into this tiny ass little pretty much a Picori, a Minish, with this hat on certain areas, and then you can explore the town and traverse certain areas because you're so small, and you can talk to animals because you're basically a Picori. It just opened up this like basically how you looked at certain areas. So if like you went into town, it's different for you when you're normal size, right? But then it's like a completely different area if you're small, and you could see all the little areas and everything, and then you can keep in mind, oh, you know, I gotta come back here and there's something, you know, something to do here that when I'm small. So
it made the exploration in Zelda feel different.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. So if I had to give it a rating, it's probably in like the B+ to A area.
Maybe the only. Oh, actually, they also added a bunch of cool 3 new items. I think was the mole mitts that allow you to dig through dirt areas.
Yeah, but we never saw those again.
The gust jar that can suck in nearby items and substances.
We did see the gust thing again.
The cane of Packy? Was it Patchy? Can flip certain objects, I believe. Those were interesting. Probably the only thing that I don't know, I wasn't really for was the whole kinstones thing. That was weird. That was weird.
So yeah, B+ to A area.
It was something okay. I mean, it was nice, I guess, to have kinstones because then you can access to certain treasures and stuff like that and whatever and secret areas. But dang, you just have to. Wasn't that like a multiplayer thing as well that they introduced? Like you could trade kinstones, and I was like, oh, interesting. Well, too bad I don't have a cable for that.
It's hard to believe that this game was made with help was by Capcom.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, there was just an incredible charm to this game as well. So I really like this one. So yeah, I'd say a B+ or something.
Yeah. So speaking of charm, Twilight Princess.
You cut out really badly there.
Speaking of charm, Twilight Princess.
Yeah, I think you peaked, but yeah.
This is where Nintendo freaked out and decided to go back to this grittier look because people did not like the look of Wind Waker.
Huh.
It's good, I think.
I think this just increased Link's stock in the furry hentai.
You're so funny. Like, the idea of the Shadow World was a nice touch. But I think my biggest issue with this game is every time it had something, it tended to fall flat. Like, Zant is this overwhelming villain who takes over the country of Hyrule within 1 minute, almost executes Midna. You have to save her on your own. And yet his boss fight is mostly him flailing around like a psychopath.
Yeah, I don't know.
And speaking of which, the boss fights in this game are terrible. The only one I generally enjoy, well, there's two. Well, one, really, is Stalfos. He's that giant skeleton-looking motherfucker where you had to bounce around on the Beyblade and knock off parts of his bones.
Beyblade. Oh, I gotta go now. I gotta go.
What?
I gotta go.
Oh, not Stal Force, it's Stal Lord.
I gotta go.
Why?
I gotta go.
What?
I'm gonna shit myself laughing from that Beyblade.
Well, literally, you have to kill him on the little disc that you ride on. It's essentially a Beyblade.
Oh, frick.
Have you never seen it before?
I don't think I saw this, because I didn't play Twilight Princess. I didn't have a Wii.
But, like, this boss fight's
Rivax
actually one of the best boss fights in the whole entire series, in my opinion.
Oh, good lord.
But I think every single other boss fight in Twilight Princess is complete garbage. Like, I understand, it's Zelda. The boss fights are never going to be truly difficult. But I think the one thing I've always liked about boss fights in general is that while they weren't difficult in previous games, getting hit by one hurt like a fucking truck, right?
Ooh.
So, like, for example, let's go back to Ocarina of Time. Yes, Ganon and Ganondorf are not difficult fights. But if you get hit by one of them, you're losing like 6 to 7 hearts.
Okay.
So, like, there was a punishment factor to it, right?
Right.
Let me bring you to the final boss of the game, Ganondorf, right?
Okay.
When the final boss is 3 parts, right? First, he's taken over Zelda, and Zelda, it's the tennis matchup, right? Then you fight Dark Beast Ganon, and then eventually it leads to a one-on-one matchup. Link versus Ganon, what people have dreamed about for ages, right?
Mm.
Guess how much damage he does to you with one swing?
You're in one heart?
Half a heart.
Oh.
Half a fucking heart.
Oh, it's him and his...
Add on to the fact that he can be killed by waving the fishing rod around him, which distracts him enough.
Oh.
And, like, the boss fights in this game are so disappointing.
Oh.
Like, they don't have that same flair that old Zelda boss fights did, where they had moves. Like, I'll bring up Wind Waker's boss fights, right? As a comparison. Just let me get them up. Like, if you look at, say, Ganon in the final boss here, yeah, you know what? Pretty simple. He hits you, it's taking out 5 to 6 hearts. Same thing with Puppet Ganon, another, 5 to 6 hearts. Mulgra, if it hits you, a good couple hearts there. Jahala, the Helmarock King, Phantom Ganon. All these guys, they may be easy bosses, but they punish mistakes. And that's what I've always liked about Zelda games, is that, yes, for the most part, Zelda is pretty easy. But it's always designed in a way that punishes your mistakes. Twilight Princess doesn't do that.
Nope.
And add on that I kind of don't like Twilight Princess story. It's too dark. It's too depressing. It's easily the weakest 3D Zelda game. I have to give it a C.
I didn't play it, so I can't really say anything.
But, all right, let's nail down. Yeah, let's nail down Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks.
I played Phantom Hourglass.
I played neither, but I do know of both quite well. Let's start with Phantom Hourglass.
You know what? I don't think this is too bad of a game, honestly.
I've never looked at Phantom Hourglass as a bad game. I do think the fact that you had to return to the stupid fucking boat 50 million times is kind of annoying.
It was interesting, for sure. I mean, the whole thing was like... The main characteristic was the boat again. Drawing notes on your map with the whole dual screen capability and the stylus on the DS. That was 3DS, right? Yeah, 3DS. It did get kind of weird sometimes with like where you I'm pretty sure you had to use the stylus part sometimes to do certain attacks.
The stylus you had to use to slash, yeah.
Yeah, it get kind of weird with the actual fighting with that. Like it definitely wasn't super fluid. But it was an interesting, different touch, I suppose.
I will say the idea of like this phantom taking over people and like stealing, like the whole phantom ship is interesting. Like Bellum, the final boss.
Yeah, but I don't know. Probably could have been done better, honestly. I mean, either a different concept or a different way of using the stylus touchscreen.
Well, he's literally trying to drain life force of people.
No, I mean like control-wise. I'm talking about.
No, that is true. And they did the same thing with Spirit Tracks.
Yeah, pretty much. They just added Princess Zelda with the whole possessing the spirit of Princess Zelda being.
That was cool because that was like one of the first times Zelda was like a real part of the story.
Yeah, that was interesting, but I'm pretty sure it still used the stylus thing, and that was kind of
yeah, it still did all that.
I kind of like the whole change maybe from like a boat to a train, but it was like
yeah, but then that also took away the exploration as you were forced literally on a train. You could not go anywhere else.
Stuck on the tracks. That was it.
So would you say that both those games deserve about like a C+, maybe a B?
C+. I feel like B is a little bit too generous.
That's to both.
I feel like Spirit Tracks might be a C, but I can't.
Really?
I honestly shouldn't touch on Spirit Tracks because I didn't play it fully. I did
play it a bit, and the reason I think it deserves to be a C+, I just like Zelda Link dynamics.
I finished actual Phantom Hourglass, which is alright, but like again, I think it's a. I don't know.
Alright, let's talk about Skyward Sword.
C+, both.
Probably one of the most polarizing Zeldas in the history of Zelda.
Polarizing.
I used to love this game.
Touching my butt.
And now this game is good. I think before Breath of the Wild, it had the best Zelda Link dynamic. like, you generally felt like these were two lovers, in a sense.
Lovers.
Like, they were playful, they were fun. Zelda had that take-no-shit attitude. I thought the rest of the characters were pretty good, too. I think Groose was a charming antagonist who became a good guy by the end. Giram was just... mwah. Like, he was so different than typical Zelda villains.
Got a premarital intercourse.
And I thought Demise as, like, the big evil that started the entire Zelda story is, you know, it's pretty good. He does his job. His boss fight's actually really good. And the worlds itself were nice. Like, you could really get the feeling like this was the start of Hyrule, right?
Oh, yeah.
But let's tackle the two biggest things. One, the motion controls. I can see why people hated them. I didn't hate them as much as others.
Man.
Oh, but I also can see, like, as we can see with, like, the HD remake, there's, like, you can play this game without them.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. I didn't hate them as much as others, but a lot of people fucking hated it.
You could... I mean, rightly so, because freaking the Wii controls were just weird.
I don't think they were as intrusive, and there was creativity to it. I mean, it made the boss fights better.
Sure. Sure, let's go with that.
But I can see why people don't like it. But I think the worst part about Skyward Sword, the backtracking in it is actually ridiculous. Like, oh my god. I get it's early Hyrule, but did we have to do literal backtracking through every fucking zone?
Go back! Go back! We have to go back for the premarital core.
Like, the worst one is the backtracking in the fire mountain, where you have to escort this robot who, if he gets touched once, you have to restart the entire thing up a mountain with a bunch of moblins and goblins firing arrows at it. Like, just the backtracking in this game is actually insane. Also, it had a game-breaking bug for a while that caused Nintendo to actually release a patch.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it had something to do with the Thunder Dragon and saving.
Saving a Thunder Dragon?
Yeah, the Thunder Dragon.
What, then it just exploded or something?
I think it corrupted the save file.
Oh.
But no, I generally do remember, because it was pretty notorious for a long time.
Yeah, okay.
Also, here's a fun fact. I spent my student loan money to buy that game.
You're a bad boy.
I am. Anyway, I'm going to give it a B.
I can't say anything.
Alrighty, we're moving on next to A Link Between Worlds.
Is that the 3DS one?
That's the 3DS sequel to A Link to the Past.
Is that the one where you can go, like, onto the wall?
Yes.
Ah. Didn't play this one.
It is, without a doubt, one of the best games I have ever played. And it is the main reason why I say, while A Link to the Past is amazing, A Link Between Worlds kind of makes it obsolete. I'm giving it an S. I think it is easily one of the best Zelda games out there. The fact that you can buy the items.
You can buy the items?
Pretty much there was a character who became a main part of the story who has an item shop where your old house would be.
Okay.
And you could rent the items or buy them outright. This allowed you to take the dungeons any way you want, right?
Oh.
Outside of the 8th. I think the 8th was blocked off to the end.
Okay.
And all the dungeons had a similar feeling to the old dungeons you'd see in A Link to the Past.
Okay.
Hell, even some of the bosses were homages to old bosses, right?
Okay.
So A Link Between Worlds, in bosses, they had Moldworm, the worm back.
Mm-hmm.
they had a style blind, which was a reference to the A Link to the Past boss.
Okay.
I'm gonna get the name. It's style something, but I can't remember. Link to the Past. Link to the Past. It's a reference to Blind, who was the boss there.
Okay.
And then they got the ice boss, Darkstar, who was a reference to Cold Stare. They literally had Turtle Rock back in a different way. They had Argus come back, who was the exact same boss. And like there was just a lot of respectful homages to A Link to the Past. That was just really nice to see.
Okay.
Add on to the fact I thought the gameplay was brilliant. Oh yeah, they also had the Gemisar King was a reference to the Helmassar King. And like I thought the gameplay was brilliant. I loved the way the arrows worked. I loved the way the items were. Like there were so many items.
Okay.
And then you got the story where there's this new place called Lorule, which is pretty much the opposite of Hyrule, but its Triforce was like, bye-bye. So in reality, it's revealed that the Princess Hilda has come to the world with the villain to try to take the Triforce.
Ah.
And it's just a really cool story. They had the Sand Rod, the Tornado Rod. All those were unique items. Like, there was just so much to this game. And just the simple fact that they allowed you to buy the items or rent them allowed for you to tackle the game any way you want. And also the nostalgia factor of playing in A Link to the Past was just like, my nostalgia boner was up to the moon. Even my dad enjoyed that game.
Oh.
Yeah, my dad loves A Link to the Past, by the way. Like, for what was so, like...
Ow.
Like, I'm gonna say this. I don't think A Link Between Worlds should have been this good.
Oh.
But it was. It was fucking brilliant.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And outside of that, we actually only got 2 games left. One is called Triforce Heroes, which was... The best way to put it was an attempt to make another Four Swords, and I didn't play it. I don't like it. Let's move on.
I didn't play it either. I can't say anything about it.
And then we get to the final Zelda game. The other Zelda game that gets an S from me. Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah, big S.
Like, it is one of the most brilliant games ever made. I think the most impressive part about it is how the game, it completely flips Zelda terms on its head, but it still feels like Zelda in the end. It feels like an evolution of the game. Because, yeah, you know what? There's no 8 dungeons and whatnot, but you got 100 plus temples to go explore. You got the 4 deities to go find.
Mm-hmm.
The boss fights in the game are outside of Dark Beast Ganon are actually somewhat challenging.
Yeah.
Like, I remember fighting Thunderblight Ganon for the first time, and he kicked my ass.
There's a lot of different weapons. And
yeah, there's a lot of different weapons, and everybody complains about, oh, well, what about weapon breaking? And I'm just like, fuck off. Like, okay, weapon breaking, it's annoying, but, like, think about it like this. You have 7,000 weapons to choose from.
Yep. At least your armor doesn't break.
I do hope for Breath of the Wild 2 there's a little more enemy variety. Because I do think that having just, like, different colored enemies throughout got a bit old.
The whole taming of horses is like a little collectible.
That was cool.
Thing.
Like, there's just so much Breath of the Wild does so well.
The whole exploration part where, I think, wasn't it when they did the reveal trailer or something at like E3 or whatever, or maybe it was PAX, not sure. I forget who was introducing it. It was like a director. He said, like, wherever you look, you can travel to that area.
Yeah, I remember that. And unlike Majora's Mask, Breath of the Wild made me want to explore.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the best thing about Breath of the Wild. It makes you want to do things. You want to go fight Calamity Ganon with 3 hearts? Go right ahead. It'll be a battle for your fucking life, but, like, go right ahead. And just the creativity of some of the places. The the Goron place was fun. The Zora place, the bird place, the desert. Every area you would go to, there was something interesting, something fun.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
And which is why I think Breath of the Wild... Like, the best 3 Zelda games to me are Breath of the Wild, Link Between Worlds, and Wind Waker.
Find all 200 Korok seeds.
Speak up.
Finding all 200 Korok seeds.
Oh, yeah, and then you just get a giant piece of shit. But no, I think the one thing those 3 games have together is that there's a sense of freedom to it, but that freedom isn't like freedom for the sake of freedom. You can do what you want, but you want to do it.
You don't have to get the Master Sword, but you probably want to get the Master Sword. And
you don't have to take over the 4 deities, but you want to do it to free your friend's souls.
And you don't have to get that shield either, but you could, you know. You don't have to get the best horses. You don't have to get the best equipment. You don't have to get the true ending by going through all the memories and stuff.
Well, like, that's the thing. Breath of the Wild...
Going on all those towers.
Breath of the Wild doesn't tell you to do anything. But because the game is so enticing, it makes you want to do everything. And it makes me very excited to see where Breath of the Wild 2 comes next year. But yeah, no, so that's our Zelda list. I'll give you a quick recap. Breath of the Wild, Wind Waker, and Between Worlds are S tiers. There's only one A tier, and that's Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time. In the B tiers, we have stuff like Skyward Sword and Minish Cap with Majora's Mask. Then in the C tiers, it's Phantom Hourglass, Four Swords, Twilight Princess, Link's Awakening,
the Oracle games.
The first Zelda.
The Oracle games.
Yeah, the Oracle games. And then in the D tier, it is Zelda 2. Like, I think that's good. I think that's fair.
Where did you put Twilight Princess again?
C.
Oh, okay.
I just really don't like... I've come to realize how much I do not like Twilight Princess.
R.I.P. Now, what about Link's Awakening, the Switch version, then?
I'd still put it in C+.
Dang. All right. Well, here's all the remakes that were made. What about the spin-offs? Anything
well, what spin-offs?
Anything that we remember in here in these spin-offs?
I don't... Has there been a Zelda spin-off?
There's been tons of Zelda spin-offs, apparently.
Name one.
Zelda's Adventure from 1994, developed by
Oh God, no! We are not covering the Nintendo CD games.
Link's Crossbow Training.
This has been episode 34 of the ARPG podcast.
Oh, wait, Hyrule Warriors.
I actually have not played that.
Oh. Okay, well, I guess we won't talk
about it. I
about
heard Age of Calamity is actually really good.
I heard it's freaking long as fuck.
Same thing as Hyrule Warriors. That one was, like, long.
Well, there's Cadence of Hyrule, which is Crypt of the Necrodancer featuring Legend of Zelda.
That's like Corone playing that. It was fun.
Okay, well, I guess... What about Tingle's Balloon Fight, which is literally Balloon Fight?
Chewie, I think Byron wants to play games with you.
What about... Shit. Actually, now that before we end, I totally forgot one part. Was it Wind Waker that had that tingle thing?
What? Wind Waker?
Was it Wind Waker that had the tingle thing when if you plug in your Game Boy Advance or Game Boy SP or whatever, you could do these weird things with tingle?
Well, I remember tingle was really introduced in Wind Waker.
Yeah, there was something you could do with Wind Waker and tingle with like connecting like a Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Advance SP. And you connected it with, I forget if it was, I think it was Four Swords or it was Minish Cap or something.
I can't remember, but fuck Tingle.
Yeah, but like you could do weird stuff with it. And I was like, well, this is really, really weird. Why would you have this the game?
Oh my god, somebody just donated 2,500. Oh my god.
Oh?
Sorry, I got Fauna's stream on and she just turned on her... She just got monetization for Super Chats and I saw somebody donate a ridiculous amount. Like, literally, it is just donations after donations. Holy shit.
Simping. Simp harder, my dudes.
I'm trying to... Oh my god, it is just... Chewy, this is ridiculous. Oh my god. How do you even react to this?
People make too much money.
Yeah, no, I generally wonder how people could donate. Like, I see the same names announce donations of like $50 and I'm like, what? Like, $5 a month for membership is hard enough as it is.
Oh, Marcel.
You
don't know the levels of thirst people can have. I mean.
Oh no, I've seen it. Have you seen how much people put into gacha?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alrighty, but I think that'll be it for this episode.
I guess.
Yeah, next week we're gonna be talking about a specific anime, the Maji series.
I thought it was Was it Mad? Okay, never mind now. The Maji.
It's Magi or Maji? I have always called it Maji.
I think it's Maji, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be talking about all of them, including the prequel to it, The Adventures of Sinbad.
If we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll get Marcel to wear his Zelda costume.
Okay.
What?
Why would you suggest that?
It's not a suggestion.
I mean, don't we even have like 5 subscribers? Or 3, I can't remember.
This has been episode 34 of EHRPG Podcast.
Have a good day, guys.
Triforce.